Hi, it's Omni-Ista. I'm having a little bit of allergy issues, and so I'm having uh, losing my voice a little bit sometimes. So um, I waited to have some tea and hoped that it would get a little bit better. And I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible because I keep trying to re-record it. It gets too long. So. Phase 2 follows the first 2 days of loading. Then the following day after your second day of loading, you'll wake up and you'll go in and use the restroom and then weigh in. You're going to want to weigh on a scale that you're going to continue to use. And you'll also want to record your weight every single day. When you first get up in the morning and you do weigh yourself, you'll want to take a measuring tape and measure all of your measurements that you can find. I personally started by using a body chart to do that, as well as my weight from the beginning and the end. Although I have to say that the ones that I did do because of that chart, I ended up wanting to do additional ones later, and so I would recommend that you probably choose a chart that has a little bit more to it than that one. But my daughter, who's just started doing it, she took my recommendation and she did ones that I wish I had done, and she measured her neck and her wrists and knees and ankles and anything else that she wonders if she's lost weight on, because which is what I wish I had done too. But anyway, when you start on phase 2, you'll do the weigh-in and record all your measurements, and then you're going to want to take a before picture. Try to do a front, side, and back, and I don't know, I guess put on a little bit more fitting clothes so that you can tell the difference. And honestly, don't talk yourself out of it, because I really did not see a difference of myself at all. And by the time that I got done with my 45 days and took another picture of myself, it wasn't even just looking at the pictures after the second time, I couldn't tell until I went and put them side by side. And then it was like, oh, yeah, I really did lose some weight. But it's funny how you don't think that you did. So I'll probably talk about that later when I talk about my results from the first phase 2 that I did in round 1. But I'm not going to do that right now because I need to make this short. So on phase 2, you will be going into a very low calorie diet, and they do abbreviate it with VLCD. And what you're going to do is you'll be drinking the same amount of water, the 3/4 to a gallon of water, and then you also take your drops the same way you did during loading in the morning, before your meals, your lunch and dinner, although your calorie count is going to be way down. And I just noticed that the TV is on and I wasn't paying attention, so I turned it off. The 500 calories, I don't know if you want to. You could track it on like a phone app. I have is FitnessPal. That's or MyFitnessPal, I guess, and you could do that. But for the most part, what you really want to be the most careful about is weighing your food, because you don't want to go over like the 4 ounces. You have 4 ounces of meat and a vegetable, and you have to measure it before you cook it, so weight-wise. And in order to do that, I use a digital scale that I just purchased a few years ago because I bake. But They have them at a lot of places, and it's kind of invaluable because it's kind of hard to ballpark your portions when you're trying to keep your calorie count that low. You're apt to go over it, and then that's not going to help you in the long run. So you don't need to get one as fancy as that, though. You can just get a real simple weighted small one, and honestly a lot of people have them still in their cupboards that if they dieted at all, they probably had one, and so you could probably borrow one from somebody and not have to buy it, but it's up to you. Anyway, on the very low calorie diet, I'm going to try to get through this fast because I have time limits here. And when you first wake up in the morning, you can have, throughout the day, you can have black coffee, but no cream, no sugar, any kind of sugar in this phase at all. You can have stevia, and I use the drops for stevia, but you can buy them just about at any grocery store now. You can buy it at Trader Joe's and any health food store would have it for sure. So, and then you can have tea and water, no juice. You can't have any kinds of fats like oil, olive oil, coconut oil, butter, anything of that nature. You're gonna cook your food without it, so not even cooking spray. So try to, you can saute pretty well in a nonstick pan. You can also cook on a grill, barbecue, oven, crock pot. I use a panini press and do meat in that sometimes. There's a lot of options, and you don't have to use fat to cook. So in your diet, though, you are allowed 2 fruit portions a day. The fruit portions that you can have are 1 medium-sized apple, half a grapefruit, 6 to 9 strawberries depending on the size, and a medium orange. So you can have 2 of those per day. One, I usually have 1 in the morning and then 1 in the afternoon if I get hungry. And you know, actually today I didn't even have any fruit today. So just some days I don't need it and it's not a big deal. But other days I'm famished and I do. So it just depends on how you're feeling. For lunch and dinner, it consists of weighing out your meat and your vegetables before you start cooking them. Your vegetables will include 4 ounces of any of the following vegetables: spinach, chard, beet greens, any kind of lettuce, tomato, celery, fennel, which tastes a little bit like licorice, onion of any kind, and red radishes and daikon radish, cucumbers, asparagus, and cabbage. Now, don't use any other kind of vegetables. Only stay on protocol and use only these. And you also are allowed, for the meat, you'll want to do very lean beef, or for example, flank steak, sirloin steak, filet mignon, 97% lean ground beef, veal, buffalo, elk, and venison. And then the chicken is the skinless breast only. No other parts of the chicken, as far as the rest of it's dark meat, so you cannot have that. And make sure that you don't have any skin on your chicken. And then the white fish is either flounder, sole, cod, tilapia, halibut, mahi-mahi, Chilean sea bass, lobster, shrimp, and crab, but no imitation crab, only the real crab. And remember that you cannot have butter with your shellfish, so remember that. And also as well, you can have two separate, you can have two portions of the, for your grains. You can have only two of these bread products per day, and you cannot have them together. You have to have them separately. So a lot of times people will have them either with their lunch and dinner, or they'll have them like in a recipe or something. Sometimes people will crumble up the cracker or whatever into a recipe, but just make sure you don't eat the two together. And it says you can have Melba toast or Wassa crackers, or you can have the grissini breadsticks, and those are, you can find the breadsticks in the pasta aisle where the sauces or the pasta is in the grocery store, and they're in a box, and they're real thin breadsticks. And I think I might actually have gotten it under time this time. I'm trying to remember anything else I can think of. It's actually kind of hard to do it at first, especially because you just loaded with a bunch of fattening and sugary stuff typically, and it's hard. It was really kind of hard for me at first because my daughter and I were just talking about that because she's going through the same thing right now. And I had sugar withdrawal, and the first couple days she had headache, and I had headaches too. But the sugar withdrawal was much worse than just the headache. It's really hard. You crave sugar like you can't believe, and I promise you that it's really hard, but you'll get through it. And once you do, your taste buds will change, and things will taste so much more. You'll notice the taste of real food so much more. Somewhat like a smoker, I think, that can taste food suddenly after they stop smoking. I think it's a little bit similar. And when you don't have preservatives and sugar, it's astounding the flavors that you taste more than you used to. So I also don't crave sugar at all the way I used to. So oh, I have allergies still, sorry. And but I do want to tell you that if you get in this phase and you're having a hard time, just remember you're going to get through it. It's going to be fine. Just keep yourself busy, like I had said, and it's really important that you keep yourself busy the first whenever you're having a difficult time, or in phase 2, especially first couple days, because it's difficult at first and it's hard to get used to. You might have some hunger pangs, and you just kind of have to power through it. It does get a lot better, so just trust me on that. Don't quit. Just keep going on, get through the week, and convince yourself you need to keep going, and you'll be fine. Especially if you can get through the week, because you'll lose a lot the first week, so it'll be encouraging, and you'll want to keep going. So I'll talk about phase 3 next. Thank you.